What is going on YouTube? Joe here with Culination Media, and welcome back for another live Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle against a subscriber/follower on Twitter. Today we're going up against Felix in a UU battle, and it's been a while since I've done anything that hasn't been like really low tiered. I think I did an Uber session on Pokemon Showdown, but that doesn't really count because Uber's just is entirely different. So we're doing some UU because it's a higher-ish tier. It's not OU, but I still really like UU. I like the way the meta is at the moment, other than Salamence being a thing. But aside from that, it's pretty cool. So we're going in with a pretty interesting team. Before I get into that, though, just a friendly reminder in case you guys haven't done so already. If you would like to show your support, feel free to do so by clicking that like button right below this video. That does always help out a lot. If you have any suggestions for Pokemon you would like to see or tiers you would like to see me play, feel free to put that in the comment section below as well. Now, taking a look at the team here, we have Choice Specs Porygon Z, which hits like an absolute truck, especially if it gets a download boost. If it gets a special attack boost from download, it's essentially at +2 immediately when it hits the field, which is just ridiculous when you factor in the Choice Specs. Then we have Choice Banded Mienshao. So everyone expects the fake out set. I prefer Banded. Choice Scarf works well also. And in fact, it may actually work better on this team for it to be Scarf, because this team's pretty slow other than Crobat. But it's going to be Choice Banded, so that is that. Then we have kind of like an offensive-ish utility Krookodile. I don't really know what to call it. It's got the Taunt and the Stealth Rock, and then Knock Off and EQ, but it's carrying a Life Orb, so it can actually hit pretty darn hard. But it's not fully defensive, so that is that. Then we have specially defensive Birch, the Trevenant, and then we have physically defensive Vaporeon. That is pretty much the standard. It's got Scald, Heal Bell, Wish, Protect, so nothing fancy there. It will be the Cleric for the team, so that'll be nice. The Trevenant, by the way, it's got Leech Seed, Will-O-Wisp, Phantom Force, and what is the last move on that? Rest, that's right, because it's a Lum Rest set with Harvest. Duh. And last but not least, we have Batsy the Crobat, which is going to be our defog user. This team doesn't really mind rocks too much, to be completely honest. But Galvantula is in the tier, and I kind of figured I don't really want to be dealing with Sticky Web when most of my team is kind of slow, and I've just got a couple of speedy things, and Sticky Web kind of ruins them. So my opponent's team is very bulky. Goodra, Swampert, Milotic, Hippowdon, and Scrafty. I don't know if I'm going to one-shot one single thing on this team. I do want to have rocks up for that Chandelure. It's probably going to be Choiced, I would guess. I'm going to lead off with the Mienshao, because I can U-turn out. Crobat can too, but Mienshao packs way more of a punch, and I can always knock off if he leads off with Chandelure, which he probably won't. Yeah, he's just going to lead off with Swampert for the rocks, I'm guessing. And I'm tempted to just click Knock Off and get rid of this thing's recovery immediately, because he's going to go for rocks. I know he is. Even though my team really isn't affected too much, it's just too tempting to get rid of Focus Sashes and the like. So I think that's what I want to do. I mean, I could just U-turn right off the bat, and if he goes for rocks, I can U-turn into the Crobat and immediately defog. But we also have to watch out for that Milotic switching in. If he predicts a defog and switches in the Milotic and it's competitive, that's going to stink. Nah, it's going to stink big time. But I'm going to go for the knockoff predicting the rocks. So we get rid of the lefties, and he does go for the Stealth Rocks. So that is actually perfect for us. Because Swampert can't really do anything to Crobat other than Scald it. And that really doesn't scare me so much. Because this is probably a fully defensive Swampert, I'm guessing. So getting rid of that passive recovery is very, very important. Having this thing weakened means that I might just be able to kill it with a Tri-Attack later on from Zed, the Porygon Z. So that could be very, very helpful to just have Swampert removed entirely and not have it be something he can just switch in to take repeated hits. So we're going to switch out because I don't want to stay locked into knockoff, even if he does switch. So I'm going to go right into Crobat, because I don't really think he has much of a reason to switch. And he goes for the Toxic, which is perfect. I really wasn't expecting that. If anything, I was thinking he was going to go for a Scald there. But that's even better, because we just get free Black Sludge and we get a free Defog off right here. I doubt he's going to want to switch into Milotic this early on. I mean, it could punch a little bit of a hole in my team if it does get the boost. So that, I mean, it's kind of tempting to click U-turn, but I'm not going to do that. I think it's in my best interest here to just get rid of these rocks for now. He's going to withdraw. Don't go into Milotic. Don't do it. No, he goes into Gudra. Okay. Okay, sigh. Big breath. Big deep breath of relief there. That could have been dangerous. So the Gudra comes in. Rocks are gone. And I don't know if that Swampert is going to have another opportunity to get them up. I don't. I do not know. Now, this thing is probably either going to go for Ice Beam or Thunderbolt. And that's a problem because I don't have anything on my team that resists both of those because it is the Bolt Beam combination. That's not good. That's not good. I mean, if he goes for T-Bolt and I switch in Krookodile, I'm golden because then I can get off a powerful knockoff. And I don't know that Ice Beam will OHKO. I don't know if I want to take all that damage. And if he does predict that and goes for Ice Beam just to be safe, that could be a problem. My safest play is probably to go into Vaporeon here because I can take stab moves from you. I'm not afraid of Dragon Pulse. I'm not even afraid of a Draco because I can wish that off. So I'm going to go into the Vaporeon. I feel like that's the safest play that I can make at this point. And he goes with a Dragon Tail, so he reveals that he's at least partially physical. He might be fully physical Gudra. So we get drugged right back into Batsy, so that's just some more free Black Sludge recovery. I'm okay with that. Now the question is, do I want to U-turn? Do I want to just go for a Brave Bird? I think that a Brave Bird is probably my best play here, just because if he just keeps Dragon Tailing, that's not going to do me any good. I'm just going to take damage on a whole bunch of things. So I might as well try to get some damage on this thing, because it doesn't have any recovery. And he doesn't have any Wish Passers, so just get as much damage as possible, and that does so much damage. Wow, was not expecting that. As he goes for the return, so he is fully physical. That did a lot of damage, though. I mean, granted, we did take some recoil there, but we can just kill you with another Brave Bird, and we live, too. Why would he go for a return, though? Why did he not go for a Dragon Stab? Or is his, I guess his only Dragon Stab is Dragon Tail? What else does this thing get? It gets Outrage, right? Maybe he just didn't want to lock himself into that. Which is understandable because we are still early on in the match. No casualties, only about 5 minutes in. Yeah, so I don't blame you. So I'll just go for the Cross Poison. I think that'll kill, and if he wants to switch to something that resists that, like Hungry Hippo. Oh, no, Hungry Hippo doesn't resist Brave Bird, but at least we don't have to take the recoil. Well, we still might. This thing might have Rocky Helmet. Hungry Hippo. That's a pretty good nickname for a Hippowdon. That does Jack Diddly Squat, and we get hurt by the Rocky Helmet, and we're going to get hurt by Sand. We'll at least recover a little bit of that with the Black Sludge to at least offset the Sand, but my goodness. Now, he could just go for EQ here, predicting a Roost, but I don't know that it's the best idea for me to stay in. I'm not going to U-turn, obviously, because we just died at the Rocky Helmet, pretty sure. So, what are you going to go for? He could be cheeky and go for a Yawn. I'm kind of tempted to just click Brave Bird and kill myself. But if he is able to get up rocks again, I kind of want to be able to come back in. But I would need to Roost, though. That's the thing. If he gets up rocks, it doesn't matter. I'm just dead when I come back in. Then I would just be fodder. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Death fodder is a good thing to have. So that's kind of why I want to switch here. I kind of want to go into Krookodile because he can't really do anything to me. And he might have Thunderfang as his only coverage move, so he might go for that here. Or Rock Slide. I mean, Thunderfang would be the best case scenario, and I don't get hurt by the Sand. So we'll get the Intimidate off, and he does go for the Thunderfang, which is perfect because that does nothing. And now I'm in a great position. I can knock off the Rocky Helmet, or the item of whatever he wants to switch in. Or I can set up my own Stealth Rocks, which I really would like to have up just because that Chandelure could potentially be a problem if it's Scarf, because I have nothing to outspeed it. I can also taunt, too, because he could be doing some shenanigans like setting up his own stealth rocks or yawning. I don't like any of that. I do not like any of that. I have to try Hippowdon. I don't think I've used one in 6th gen at all. Like, not even once. So, I don't know if I even have one bred. I might. So many Pokemon I want to use. You guys always leave great suggestions, and it's like, I don't even battle enough to be able to use all of them. Because I only put up one battle video a day. It's not enough. There's too many Pokemon. Gosh darn it. There goes for the EQ, and at -1, that still does a lot. What? Why did that do so much? I mean, I'm happy I was able to get up rocks there, but jeez. That has to be invested in attack for it to do that much after an Intimidate. Krookodile doesn't have the best defenses in the first place, but still, -1. I'm kind of tempted to just get rid of your Rocky Helmet so I can potentially just kill you later on. And maybe even just Brave Bird you, or U-turn on you safely later. He's going to go into the Swampert, which takes a little bit from the Stealth Rocks, not much. And Knockoff plus an EQ might kill you. Wow, yeah, that did a lot of damage. Maybe that's not completely defensive Swampert. I don't know. I feel like Knockoff, both Knockoffs, because I hit it with Knockoff earlier on. I feel like it just did a lot. But he went for Toxic and Rock, so that leads me to believe that he's, like, fully defensive. I don't know, maybe especially defensive. Anyway, EQ is going to take out the Swampert, so that's fantastic. That would be helpful if I had any Electric-type users on my team, which I don't. His team kind of just stops the Volt Switch shenanigans that could be going on. But yeah, I don't have any Volt Switch users, so it doesn't really matter to my team. But Swampert out of the way is cool, because that also means he most likely cannot set up rocks. Because from what we saw from that Hippowdon, I think it's offensive. Probably invested in HP and attack. Or at least some investment in attack, at least. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. So out comes Saganjill, the shiny Scrafty. I don't want to let this thing just set up Dragon Dances all over the place, because this team's a lot of fun to use, and I've used it on Showdown. It's just fun. But it has some glaring weaknesses, one of which is that it doesn't have a Choice Scarf user, and it doesn't have priority, which is bad. So I'm going to taunt you to make sure that you're not setting up right here. If you kill me, so be it. Rather have you kill me. Yeah, and he just goes for the Drain Punch. So, Kapp, you're going down. You did what you had to do, though. You got up the rocks, and you got rid of Swampert, so that's fantastic. Anytime a Krookodile is taking out Swampert, I'm a happy camper. He is going to get a Moxie boost, but I'd much rather have this Scrafty have a Moxie boost than a attack boost and a speed boost. So the speed boost is where it gets tricky. Now, normally I would just switch in Trevenant here, but this is a Scrafty, and Knockoff will probably OHKO me because I'm specially defensive. So that puts me in a bit of a tough spot. I could go right into Crobat here and just Brave Bird. I mean, and then if he switches in that Hippowdon, though, I'm dead. So I could also just switch it in, predict the switch, and then Roost, which is really risky because if he kills me, he gets another Moxie boost. I'm going to go into Crobat. This is a pivotal point in the match. This Scrafty has the potential to destroy my team. More so than anything else. I think this is threat number 1. Especially now because we probably won't have to defog. We don't have to worry about that Milotic as much. This is big time threat. Big time threat. I mean, we could have went into Mienshao too. I was tempted to go into that and just click high jump kick. But if he predicted that and switched in Chandelure, I lose half my health. And I'm locked in a high jump kick, which means he gets a free hit on something. And I basically have to sack something. And I don't like that. I don't want to sack a Pokemon for no reason just because I can't predict stuff. So he is going to switch out the Scrafty. And he goes into the Hungry Hippo. So the Sand is going to be back. And that's not the best thing. And he doesn't take much damage from rocks either. And the Scrafty doesn't. His whole team doesn't really. But I just put it there for the Chandelure. I did click Brave Bird. So we're going to die from all the recoil. But we are going to get some momentum here, as that didn't really do that much. That really didn't do that much at all. Let's see. I'm kind of tempted to just go into Porygon Z. Porygon Z might honestly just be able to kill you with a tri-attack from there. Because I don't know if I want to lock myself into that with Chandelure around, though. That's the thing. That's what I don't like. If Chandelure gets a free switch in, it can just basically get a kill. And I don't like that. I do not like that. So I'm going to go into Mermina. And yeah, unfortunately, Eevee has a really high chance of being a male. So the Eevee that I bred to be Vaporeon ended up being male. And I like the name Mermina. They're normally always female for me, Vaporeons that I use. And they're all nicknamed Mermina, but I just didn't pull a female with the right IVs, so we have male Mermina. I didn't even bother changing the nickname. That's how dedicated I am to it. Now, he's probably going to switch. Probably going to switch into Milotic, I would guess. There's no reason to stay in. Yeah, he's going to switch out. I'm just going to Scald. And he goes into the Goodra, actually, risking the potential burn on the Scald. Or maybe he's just sacking this thing, which is also possible because it's at low health, not going to be doing too much more for the team. And we do get the burn. A little bit lucky there because if we didn't get a burn, I don't know how we were going to kill this thing. It would just be taking sand damage, I guess. And this thing could also have Power Rip, which I don't like. I do not like that. This thing is death fodder now at this point. It can't switch out and come back in thanks to our Stealth Rocks. He has no way to get rid of them. So we could try to be cheeky and switch something in. But if I predict wrong, I'm just going to take a big hit. And I don't know if that's worth it when I have Protect. Because the most he can do is just switch out to save this thing to get a safe switch later on. And I don't think he's going to do that. So I'm going to go for the Protect, and he's not switching. So we'll see what he goes for here. He goes for the Power Up, so he does indeed have it, but he's just going to die actually to the Sandstorm before the burn can kill him. So that's fine by me. Goodra out of the way. That thing actually didn't pose that much of a threat to my team. I mean, if anything, having it weakened and gone is good for Porygon Z, because we probably couldn't kill that with a tri-attack. Probably couldn't even come close if it was Assault Vest, just because its special bulk is ridiculous. And I would expect Milotic to come out here, because Scrafty can't kill me. He could try to set up a Dragon Dance, I guess, but if he doesn't have Lumberry, Scald is very, very dangerous. And even at +1, I don't think he's going to kill a Vaporeon, so that's very, very risky business. So he does go out into the Milotic here, and I kind of want to just go for burns. Because I don't think this thing can do much to me. If he wants to, I mean, he can't Scald me, because I have Water Absorb. If he goes for Toxic, I can Heal Bell that away. So this thing isn't too much of a problem. And he goes for the Magic Coat, predicting a Toxic. But I don't carry Toxic, because for the most part, I don't like Toxic. I run it on a few Pokemon just because it's kind of necessary. On Vaporeon, it's not, because I like the Cleric option. It allows you to play a little bit more aggressively, and if things get burned or poisoned, it's not the end of the world. Because Vaporeon can usually live a hit from most things that haven't boosted and get off a Heal Bell. So it does support the team. I'm going to just go for Scald, though, as he goes for a Scald of his own, predicting a switch there, and he just gives me free HP with the Water Absorb. And let's see if we can get a burn this time, because that's what I'm fishing for here. I really am. And we still don't get the burn. Darn. We did get it on the Goodra, though, so I can't be complaining about that. I just really need it to be able to wear this thing down. I need that extra residual damage. I also can't really afford to switch something in on a Scald, so yeah, I'm kind of just stuck here until he switches. I mean, once I get the burn, I'm going to throw up a Wish and then maybe try to pass it into something. So he is just going to withdraw here. He decides that he can't do anything to me, and he goes out into the Chandelure. Well, that is interesting, as he takes 25% due to the rocks, and he's going to take quite a bit here. And he does survive. We can't burn a fire type, so that's off the table, of course. That's perfect, because I don't know if you can switch in again. That's really close. This thing could have Energy Ball. And if it's Specs, it still outspeeds me, and I don't know if I want to take that, because that might just OHKO. I'm going to Protect, because I want to see what he locks himself into. Most Chandelures are Specs. Or not Specs, just choiced in some way. As he goes for the Pain Split, he's not choiced. Okay. That makes him a little bit less of a threat, because now I know that Mienshao will outspeed him, and I can OHKO him with a knockoff, even if he gets a Pain Split off. Because Choice Bandit knockoff, yeah, you're just dead. So that is pretty good news for me. But the downside is I don't really have a switch in. I don't have a switch in because he's not locked in. If I switch in Mienshao on a like Flamethrower or Fire Blast or whatever you're carrying, I could just be dead. And I cannot afford to lose Mienshao at this point. Just because that's my number one switch into this thing after something dies. So I'm going to let him get off the Pain Split, and I'm going to throw up a Wish. So yeah, there's not a whole lot I can do here. This puts me in a really bad spot, because a large portion of this team I need still. The Vaporeon allows me to not get OHKO'd by Scrafty. That's really the only thing on my team that can take a hit from it. Because Trevenant dies to a knockoff. Mienshao just dies to a Drain Punch, most likely. At least after a boost, it probably will. And Porygon Z is not taking the Drain Punch either. So I guess I'm just going to Scald you here. As he goes for the Will-O-Wisp. It's a good thing I didn't switch in Mienshao. That would be bad. I mean, I do have the Heal Bell, but still. So we're going to go for the Scald. We'll get some more damage off. And now he's just going to Pain Split, though. That's the thing. I might just have to predict that and switch in something. And it would have to be Mienshao. So I have nothing else that can hit this thing. That's not good. Do I want to predict the Pain Split? I kind of do. But if he just goes for that Fire Blast, that's what is really scaring me here. But you know what? I'm going to make the risky play. I'm going to make the prediction. That's the way to get out of this situation, so I'm going for it. Out comes Minquando. Go for that Pain Split. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. That was about to be disastrous. That was about to be disastrous if I predicted wrong. But now I'm in a fantastic position because Knockoff just kills, and he knows it. He knows it. He's not going to stay in. He's going to switch in possibly Scrafty on the predicted Knockoff, but then... Depends on if he thinks I'm choiced. I mean, I haven't shown Life Orb, and I did attack, so he probably does know I'm choiced. So he can get me locked into Knockoff, then he gets a free Dragon Dance or kill on something if he brings in Scrafty. I don't know if I'm real enough to... I don't think I'm real enough to click High Jump Kick with a Chandelure out here predicting Scrafty. I don't think I'm enough of a man to do that. That would require some balls of steel. But I also don't know that he's going to make that play. So I'm tempted to click U-turn instead. That's safer. This is a tough decision. I'm going to click U-turn predicting a switch. And he does switch. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. He had no reason to stay in. Okay, out comes the Hippowdon. So that's going to take rocks, get the sand back up, and we're going to take some damage from the Rocky Helmet, which is completely okay with me. We're going to get Regenerator, so we're going to get some of that HP back. So it's not the end of the world. And that is in a range now where I can probably just go into Porygon Z and kill it. Because now that I know what that Chandelure set is, I'm not as afraid of it switching in. Because it's not going to kill Vaporeon in one hit. Because it probably doesn't have Energy Ball either. It's got Pain Split and Will-O-Wisp. It probably has a Fire move like Flamethrower, Fire Blast, and then Shadow Ball. So, that is good to know. We might be able to switch in Trevenant. What would Trevenant do, though, other than set up a Leech Seed? Would that really do anything for us? I don't know if I need... Yeah, I think I need offensive pressure. We don't need defensive stuff, I don't think. It is really tempting to just go out into Mermina again, though. But I don't think I'm going to do that. finally make a decision. I'm so back and forth today. The indecisiveness is real. So we're going to go out into Porygon Z, especially because with download, we get that special attack boost. So with that stacking on with choice specs, we're essentially at +2 right now. And this thing has a ridiculous special attack stat. And I'm pretty okay with just locking myself into Tri-Attack. And he's just going to stay in and sack this thing. So down goes the Hungry Hippo. Goodbye, Hippowdon. Goodbye. And now he's going to go into Chandelure. I'm guessing because I did not show Life Orb. So I would think that my opponent would think that I am locked in. Oh no, he goes into Scrafty. Okay. He's wait, did he go for Dragon Dance? No, he didn't because I taunted him and he just killed me with Drain Punch last time. Okay. So he could still be Assault Vest, which is scary. But if he's not Assault Vest, he just dies to a Tri-Attack. He can't take that. He can't take it. So I'm clicking Tri-Attack. And really hoping he's not Assault Vest. And no, he's just dead. He's just straight up dead. Wow. Okay, threat avoided there. That was the one thing that I was afraid of sweeping my entire team, and that's just gone. I don't think that was a good switch on my opponent's part there. I guess he thought he could live. That had to be just Lumberry Dragon Dance Scrafty. So that's just dead. This is a 2-hit KO. Easy. With the prior damage from rocks and everything, and the Scalds that didn't get burns. I'm not sure why he's not going into Chandelure. I just don't understand. So I'm going to go for the Tri-Attack again, and that does so much damage. And he goes for Icy Wind, and I avoid the attack, which is unfortunate because that's a 90% accuracy move, so that just kind of stinks. That just kind of stinks that it missed. We'll see if now he wants to switch out. I really thought that Chandelure was going to come in before. I think he just threw away the match there. This could have gone on for a while. Porygon Z coming through for us, picking up all these kills in a row. He just killed half his team in 4 turns. That's outrageous. That is outrageous. So the Sandstorm is going to subside as Milotic goes down, and he's left with just Chandelure. And he's going to take the 25% due to the rocks. And I think I just want to let him kill Porygon Z here. Wait, we do outspeed, though. We do outspeed you, so coming back into T-Bolt you could be nice. Trevenant is the least useful member on this team right now. Because he can OHKO me, and he outspeeds me. Even if he is just an entirely defensive variant, which I don't think he is because he didn't show lefties. I don't know what item you have. I don't know what's going on, but we're going to sack Trevenant because we do not need it whatsoever, so the only screen time he's going to see here is just to die. As he might go for Pain Split, but that's fine. Yeah, he goes for the Pain Split. That makes sense. You want to get as much HP back as possible. And this is a max HP Trevenant, so he gets quite a bit back. Gets into the green. And I will just Phantom Force, I guess. Doesn't really matter. And he just goes for the Shadow Ball. I should be... Well, I might live that, actually. I do actually live that with 10. 10 HP. Thank you, base specially defends Trevenant. Good job, Birch. And now we get a hit off on this thing, which is great. Because he can't do anything. Unless he has Protect. And he doesn't have a Fire move. Which, I guess, is a thing. And if that's... No, he just goes for Shadow Ball again. So... Oh, well, there's his item. What is that Colbur Berry? Or is that for Dark-type moves? What is that? Oh, the Cassib Berry. Or Cassib. However you want to say it. So that was what he was carrying. That's not a bad move for a Chandelure. Because it lets it take Shadow Sneaks. And then KO, whatever it is, back most of the time. So yeah, now we can just Phantom Force again, I guess, and let him kill me. Yeah, he can't Pain Split because I have less HP than him. So that's pretty much going to be the match here, as he's going to take out Trevenant, and I can go into whatever I want, basically, that's not Mermina. I can go into Mienshao and knock off, even though he lost his item, he still dies from that. Or I can just go into Porygon Z, and that's what I'm going to do. Because I do carry the Shadow Ball, so he's just going to die to that. And we do get an attack raise this time because Chandelure's physical defense is trash. I could go for the T-Bolt because that'll probably still kill because I'm Specs, but we'll go for the Shadow Ball just because it's fun. And Porygon Z picks up another kill as the Chandelure goes down, and that is going to be the battle. So the real turning point there was him sending in the Scrafty and just letting it die like that. Maybe I'm still trying to go over that play in my head and think what the play was there, unless he thought maybe he would force me out somehow. But usually Assault Vest Scrafty has Intimidate, and when I didn't see the Intimidate, and we saw the Moxie earlier on in the battle when he killed Krookodile, I figured he was just your standard offensive Dragon Dance set with Lumberry, and that does not take a Tri-Attack from a Specs Porygon Z that has a special attack download boost, because that's just insane power right there. Anyway, that's going to be it for this time. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you very much for the battle, Felix. It was a pleasure. It's an honor to battle you, of course. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you're leaving a like, rating, or comment, or whatever you would like to do, and I will see you all next time. But until then, game on.